building an AI first business actually mean? I recently saw a tweet from Mark Cuban that said he believes there's going to be two types of businesses: those that are great at AI and those who are out of business. And even though I've been deep in AI for the last 3.5 years, this really got me asking myself, am I building an AI first business, and what does that actually look like? So what I wanted to do was show you how I built my AI first business infrastructure using Claude Code, and Notion. I'm going to pop open the hood to show you how I did it so that you can too. And let me share my screen right here with you. Okay, cool. So it started right here, and it says, I'm committed to building an AI first business. I want to define what it means, the dashboards, the structures, the checks, because I don't want this to be theory. I want this to be something that I'm actually living and I know is true. So the first thing that I did is define what an AI first business means. So the founder is the orchestrator, not the executor. This is important for me because I'm the bottleneck for so much of what I do currently. And I'm sure that resonates with a lot of you, certainly with so much going on in the world of AI. Number two, every layer of the business has a named AI owner. So in my mind, the thing that was really triggering me was when I'm sleeping, is my business growing like compounding interest? If AI or an AI agent is there, yes. If not, I'm continuing to be the bottleneck. So through this, we are looking at ways to create better systems, better processes, and better structure all steps of the way. And there's 8 different things there, but one of the big keys for me is this human first perspective on things. It doesn't mean that we're outsourcing everything to automation and the robots, but it means the design and the architecture of this for ourselves is from a lens of let's make sure that AI is designed into this first. So the next thing that really was a level up for me is on Twitter over the last year, I saw this folder structure of what it looks like to build a SaaS company. And you can see this, and there's these high-level folders, and there's subfolders to each of them. And when I saw this, I was super inspired because despite the fact that there's probably, 80 different folders right here, I saw this from a roadmap and a potential standpoint. So for example, if you said, all right, I want to focus on acquisition and I want to have an AI first model, we could sit there and say, let's spend 1 hour with Claude and design an SEO strategy. Let's spend an hour and design a content marketing strategy. Let's spend an hour and build out a cold email strategy. So the only limit is our own capacity. But when you're designing this with an AI first infrastructure, you're removing that by design because you're saying, listen, I know that I don't have to know everything because that's why Claude is there. So for me, the real key became, how can I build the map so that I've got the roadmap of what an AI first business looks like? And then number 2, let's go from 0 to 1, right? We don't need to make this thing perfect, but let's make sure every one of these folders has a thing. And once I did that, it was a massive unlock because what I ended up creating was the undeniable AI first business. And this was designed for me based on what Claude knows and sees in my projects and my project files and my AI context vault. So my operating systems, my goals, my vision, my values, everything that's inside of there. And you can see it did an incredible job here. And I was able to boil this down to 10 high-level categories that has a total of 73 subfolders. And it's like, holy smokes, that's so much, Rob. But here's the thing. Ask yourself, if you know every single aspect of your business, what are those departments? What does each one do? And what are those priorities? Because there's something that my mentor, Dan Martell, said that I've never been able to forget. He's like, every single thing in his company is written down. And Dan runs an AI venture studio. So for him, when something is written down, AI can do something with it. And once I've understood that, the biggest hole in the boat for 99% of the market is going to be structure and organization. They've got stuff in Dropbox or Google Drive or Asana or Notion or Evernote or on their phone or it's not written down. But the pillar that you start with for an AI first foundation is number one, what does my business look like? Let me write it down. And then number two, let's write down for every single section because, for example, it's not hard to design a YouTube strategy, a LinkedIn strategy, a visual design strategy, to build an offer ladder for your business, to create your brand voice and tone. It's just a lot of intention that goes into all of this. So once I saw this, it all clicked for me because it was a map. And I worked through Claude every step of the way, speaking into it, what I'm seeing and feeling. And once I had this, I was like, great, let's be very methodical in how we do this and do so in a way where what's the next step? We're going to do this in phases. And this is where I had a lot of back and forth with Claude, and it was actually really challenging for me because I wasn't getting to where I wanted to go. And here was the massive unlock for me. And I'm saying here, yes, to an operational reality we're building towards, and this matters because this is our dreams. Because when it wasn't getting clear for me on like, what's the next step on all of this? I was like, listen, this just matters so much for me because this is attached to my dreams. So it came up, Claude did, and it said this, what this layer actually is. When I look at the map, can I see my dream business? And the second I saw this, everything clicked on what to do next. Because despite me being someone who has been deep in the world of AI for the last 3.5 years, I don't have a tech background, I don't have a coding background, I don't have an AI background, and I'm not sitting here wearing an AI shirt because I'm like, oh my God, I love AI. No, I come from a human first perspective, and the reason that I am like this is because I'm an entrepreneur who's been all in for the last 15 plus years because I'm all in on my dreams. And the thing that clicked for me was that I can connect my dreams to building an AI first business. So what that allows me to do is to fill in that capacity of the 73 folders of what an AI first business actually looks like. And in doing so, we start compounding the growth for my business. So what I ended up doing was, in my mind, I needed this to live somewhere, right? So now we've got the map. Now we've got the connection, that hard side. Wow, this actually isn't about AI. This is about my dream business that I'm building. That creative leadership studio where I'm doing workshops and speaking engagements and fun and creative things, a podcast studio. All right, cool. We got that. All of this is in service of this. So now I want to move all of this to my second brain, aka my single source of truth, aka Notion. Because right now we've got the roadmap, but it's not been written down yet. So what I did using Claude Code was when I saw the 73 folders, I was like, I'm not intimidated by this because AI can accelerate it. I just got to figure out how in the world to take this from my mind and Claude and get it into Notion. And I was like, oh, well, we're just going to design this so that Claude Code can bulk do this for me. And let me show you what the end result of this was, is say hello to the AI first dream business. So what I ended up doing was, further on down in my Claude chat, I was like, okay, we need to get this into Notion. It can do that via the MCP. But I was like, well, instead of me doing this one by one, let's do all 73. So what I actually did was I started by doing one of them. So I'll open this up, for example, the offer ladder. And when I did this, what this did is it opened up a card for what this is, why it matters, the current state, what it powers, the files and references. the agentic opportunity. One thing that was so important in the design of this is this has got to be designed for agentic AI. Even if I or you don't completely understand what that means, that's okay. We don't need to, because Claude understands it, and so does Claude Code, and so does Notion. So you just say, I'm designing this for agentic AI. What does that look like in the structure? So then we have standards, the definition of done, right? We want this to be binary, a 1 or a 0. Where does this connect to? What are some notes? And then down here, I've got this agent block. And in doing this, what I ended up doing was creating essentially a template that will live in all 73 of the folders of an AI first business, because systems scale and I want consistency. So I ended up turning what you're seeing right here, this format, what it is, why it matters, current state, into a Claude skill that says, hey, every time Rob wants to take his AI first dream business and put one of those into Notion, run this skill to do this. And then what it would do is it searches dynamically my Notion, AKA my gold vault, of all of the things that are already in there. So I've been using Notion for the last, 6 months plus, probably longer than that, to document everything that I'm creating with AI. So here is my Rob's AI operating system. These are all the little things that I'm building inside of my business. Here's my build tracker. These are the things that every single day I'm building. You can see here just how often I'm building something new with Notion. Then I've got my signal bank right here. What is this? These are the ideas of the things that I have. I don't have to do something with them right now, but I can in the future. I've got a playbook library. What is this? Hey, every time I create a system or a process in Claude, I send it to Notion, so we've got it. I write it for my clients and agentic AI. I've got an intelligence vault. Hey, when I have a call with someone, I take the transcript, I run a skill called the gold mine, and then it shows me the best nuggets of wisdom inside of that. And then I created another thing called field notes here, which is as I'm building with AI and I learn something, I'm like, wow, that's good. Cool. My clients would probably like that as well. Let's turn this into a field note. So when you open with one of these things, so for example, I'll just open this one right here. The big idea, the daily flow, the key terms, what to log and where, one key takeaway. So I'm designing the receipts into what I'm doing by design. So when I used Claude Code and I did this, it would fill this in by saying, all right, where are there files that reference an offer ladder or whatever it is that we're talking about there? And this became a massive level up because let's call it after, and I don't even remember how long it was because I went away. I did 3 of these to make sure I locked it in. And then I was like, all right, Claude Code, go and do the other 70. And it fills it all in. And you might look at this and be like, holy smokes, this is totally overwhelming. Well, guess what? I didn't do any of this. Claude Code filled in all of these. And we just designed, hey, what layer of the business is this? Is it identity? Is it offer? Is it operations? Is it intelligence? Brand expression? Marketing? Sales? Fulfillment? People? Capital? You can get a really good idea of what my business looks like, can't you? All right. Then we designed an agentic tier into this. Is this done by the human, the agent plus the human, or is this fully agentic, right? We want to get this to be agentic, but right now we're just setting up the structure towards this, that 0 to 1, so we can start building it that way. And then you'll see there's just other things. Who owns this? And we even have a status down here where yellow, red, green. Let me see if I have any reds. Here's a red right here. Boom. So red, we've got a 0. Yellow, all right, we got it, but it's not great yet. Green, here we go. And of course, when you've got 73 folders, there's a lot that you got to go from red or yellow to green. But it's okay because we've got the map for how we are doing all of this. So I am 4 days into this. So this does not mean that this thing is fully running yet, because that is now what I'm building towards. It says, okay, now that you've got the map set for building your AI first business, now it's time to execute. And we're going to stack ones over zeros. And this is where Claude, once again, can do a great job, because via the Notion MCP, it has complete visibility into all of this. So the big unlock for me was this AI first dream business sits at the top of all that I'm doing for my business, and the build tracker and the signal bank and the field notes, that's all downstream from it. So this becomes the single source of truth that is completely scalable for everything that you want to do in your business. And here's the thing, 99.9% of people and companies are going to look at this and be like, that's a no for me, dog. But I know this to be true. The biggest hole in the boat for people in the agentic AI era will be a lack of systems and process and infrastructure that is designed by you, right? Everybody wants to outsource everything to the AI, but what's all that knowledge and experience and systems and processes that you have and that you've designed in your business, all towards the North Star of building your dream business? And if you realize that your dream business has never been more possible than it is right this second, well, let's start designing that bad boy from an AI first perspective. So I wanted to share this because I'm really excited about where this is going for me and my clients and everybody who's rowing the boat in this direction, because as Wayne Gretzky said, we skate to where the puck is going, not to where the puck is. And agentic AI is here, and it's only going to get better and more accessible and do more. So I'm going to encourage you to ask yourself, have you designed and built an AI first business and infrastructure for yourself? If no, what does that look like for you? And if you see this and you're like, wow, I kind of vibe with this, it's a lot, but I'm interested in finding out a little bit more, drop me a comment below or hit me up on Instagram or LinkedIn at Rob Cressy. Sending tons of love and good vibes your way. Here's to having an amazing rest of your day.